What if the secret to a beautiful high-end Christmas home isn't spending more in December, but knowing what to thrift before everyone else does? Today, I'm transforming some tired thrift store finds into timeless Christmas decor that looks far more expensive than it was. Two of these projects even flip from fall to Christmas. And the final transformation may be one of the most unique Christmas pieces I've ever created. Because a beautiful Christmas home doesn't have to be bought all at once. Sometimes the most beautiful homes are collected over time. And also a big thank you to Factor for partnering with me on today's episode. I'll be sharing a little bit more about them in a bit. But first, Lisa and I are heading out to see what Christmas treasures we can find at the thrift store. Lisa.
Hi.
It's July.
I know.
It's hot.
It's hot.
What on earth are we doing here?
I don't know, but it's gonna be fun, whatever it is.
We're gonna go inside and shop for Christmas decor in July and see if we can make stuff over. So let's go in there and see what we can do. All right, let's go. I know we're here for Christmas decor, but this is so cute. It's coming home with me. I think I got the most obnoxious shopping cart. This is so loud. But while we're shopping, we're gonna get each other some challenge items. And so we're gonna take a look at that as well while we're looking for items to make over for Christmas. This little girl looks ready for Christmas. She got the memo, man. She got the memo. This is the most Lisa thing I've ever seen, and I know I should probably go hard, but I feel like that is gonna be my challenge item for her, but I don't know. I'll keep looking, but this really has her name written all over it. I am having so much luck that I'm actually ending up shopping for another episode, so stay tuned for that. We'll do a haul, and I will do another episode with all the finds that I'm doing, so you're gonna love it. Has an A on it, but it's so cute. All right, you ready for this?
A few moments later.
You guys, I just broke it. Look at this. They're so nice, but I just adjusted one thing and it broke in the cart. I'm so devastated because you know how Natalie that was. I'm so sad. Sorry, guys. Lisa, I just broke something that I really loved.
Oh no.
I found the most Natalie vase ever. It was a tortoise shell, that. And I broke it trying to adjust my cart to put something else in it.
The cart. We'll blame it on the cart.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think we made out okay. Even though we lost the most beautiful find there, I think we got enough stuff. So let's head home. Also, Jody, it was so fun to meet you. So apparently Goodwill has something on their carts that prevent it from leaving the sidewalk here. What are you doing to us? So we're gonna have to go get the car. Lisa, did you just break the law? You broke the law.
It's not my fault. The car's locked up. We're just gonna be here for 20 seconds.
I won't tell. Lisa, do you hear that?
The police are coming.
The police are coming. We better hurry. Okay, we are back from thrifting. I broke a vase. Lisa broke the law. But we survived our thrifting adventures. And now we're gonna do a quick little haul of all of the items that I got. One of them is kind of big, and I'll just start with that. And I have a really fun idea for this. I'll show you later. It's a cork board, but I was more interested in it for the frame. Let's see how huge it is. This was a $7.99, and that's a great price for a huge frame like that. It is a little dirty, but we're gonna clean it up and get it looking completely different. Then I got this frame for $4.99. Well, it's like an art piece, but we're obviously not gonna keep the art in it. And then I got this, which was $8.99, which is a little bit higher, but it was really cute, and I think it has a lot of potential. So that is one item we got. I got this little bell wreath or vine or whatever. You can kind of use it as whatever you want. And this is $1.99. It was a really good price. The rusty bells I may switch out. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I thought that was really with you. We have this plate right here. Loved it with the cardinals, but I think that we can, you're like, what are you gonna do with that? I'm only gonna do like a couple minor changes, and I think it's gonna make all the difference. And this was $7.99, so, oh no, it's a blue sticker, so this ended up being half off, so that's $4. Finally, Lisa's challenge piece. So here we go. I'll just show it to you here real quick. This little cupboard. So any ideas what I could do with this? It's cute. How can I turn this Christmas? It's pretty generic. So, and this is $12.99, really good condition, a really cute piece, but how are we gonna make it Christmas? So you'll have to stay tuned for a minute on that. So that's all of our items, and now it's time to start doing some very simple, easy, fun flips on them. Now that you've seen everything that we found, I want to start with a project that perfectly explains why I love thrifting for Christmas early. This started out as a very dirty, very tired bulletin board. The cork wasn't in great condition, and I definitely didn't need another place to put push pins, but the frame itself was a great size. I liked the silhouette, and it was only $7.99. And a frame this large can be surprisingly expensive if you buy it new. So I wasn't really looking at this as a bulletin board. I was looking at the size, the shape, and what it could become. That is one of the best questions you can ask yourself when you're thrifting. Not just, do I like this exactly as it is, but is there something about this piece that is worth saving? In this case, it was definitely the frame. So I removed the cork board, cleaned everything really well. The original plan was to create an antique gold finish with a little bit of black showing through. So I started by spray painting the frame black, and I'm gonna save you a step here. That ended up being completely unnecessary for this particular frame. And then I tried a couple of different shades of gold over it, but the black wasn't giving me the aged finish that I had pictured. So I kept adjusting until I finally landed on a gold leaf spray paint. The color was much better, but the finish still fell a little flat. It had the right tone, but it was missing some of that depth and dimension that makes a finish feel truly high-end. So after the spray paint had fully dried, I went back in with gold leaf rub and buff, and I lightly stippled it all over the entire frame. And then after that sets up for just a couple of minutes, you go in and kind of buff it out, hence rub and buff. Now the difference is very subtle. You may not even be able to point out exactly what changed, but it adds just enough variation and texture to make the finish feel richer and much more dimensional. It is one of those little details that doesn't scream for attention, but it makes the entire piece just feel better. For the art, I usually order my posters from Walgreens, and I always use one of their 50% off coupons. A couple of times they've even gotten lucky and they've had like a 70% off coupon, so keep your eyes out open for that. But I typically order the peel and stick version because it is so easy to mount, and I really like the matte finish on it. But this time I accidentally ordered the regular photo paper, so we improvised. So I cut a piece of foam core board to fit inside the frame, and then I used some Mod Podge to attach the artwork. And since I was already creating a brand new insert, I decided to make it reversible. So on one side, I added this beautiful Christmas bell print with a deep red ribbon, the evergreen, and that warm old world feel. And on the other side, I added this gorgeous pumpkin with a bow for fall. So cute. So for Christmas, I have this warm traditional bell artwork. But before that, I can simply flip it around and I have the pumpkin. One thrifted frame, 2 seasons, and I don't have to store another large piece of framed art somewhere else. That is really at the heart of what we're doing today. A beautiful home doesn't have to be filled all at once with the brand new things. It can be collected slowly, created thoughtfully, and built around pieces that work beautifully for the way you actually live. So real quick before we move on, just a quick sneak peek of like the fall one. I will style this in an upcoming episode, but I'm really excited about the fact that on this side, and then flips around for Christmas. And then you could keep using this frame and then just swapping out the insert too. That takes up a lot less space to store it as well. So later in this episode, I'm going to tell you about a massive Christmas in July sale happening over on my website, designtothernines.com, including these digital art prints that we just used in this project. These are for sale on my website, and they're going to be at a huge discount for the next couple of weeks, but I'll tell you more about that in just a second. Because before that, we need to move on to Lisa's challenge item. And you'll also want to stay with me for that final project because I'm combining two completely unrelated thrifted pieces into something that looks like a one-of-a-kind Christmas antique. We're going to take a quick break from the projects to talk about Factor. A big thank you to Factor for partnering with me on today's episode. Whenever I am deep into a project, I completely lose track of time. Suddenly everyone is hungry, and the last thing I want to do is stop, plan a meal, cook it, and then clean up afterward. That's why Factor has been so convenient for me. Factor delivers chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals straight to your door. Their meals are made with real ingredients, balanced macros, and at least 2 vegetables per meal. Plus, there's no planning, no prep, and no big cleanup, which I love. The meals are fresh and never frozen and ready in just a few minutes. And they have a really nice variety too, everything from salads to steak and potatoes. We're not having this right now, but later tonight I'm gonna have brown butter filet mignon and shrimp. Hello. Plus they have breakfast and plenty of add-ons. So I'm putting together this salad for lunch right now. I'm super hungry. I'm working really hard and it looks so good. So we're gonna just put this together real fast. And that's the nice thing about Factor is you can be eating in a matter of like a couple of minutes. So this one is Asian style chicken crunch salad. It's like a partnership that they have with Sakara. And it looks so good. How delicious does this look? Are you serious right now? We're gonna taste test it real quick. Get a good bite there. That is so good. What I appreciate the most is being able to open the refrigerator, grab something that sounds amazing, and have a real meal without interrupting my entire day. I use Factor, I genuinely enjoy it, and I think that you should try it too. Head to factor75.com or click the link below. Use the code TOTHE9SFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code TOTHE9SFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. A big thank you again to Factor for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the projects. But in the meantime, I'm gonna finish off this salad. So this next piece was the challenge item that Lisa found for me. While it didn't exactly scream Christmas, I have to say, I think she went a little easy on me. She's nice. It was a very basic little cabinet, but it had a nice shape, glass doors, and plenty of potential. The biggest issue was this strange glue-like residue on the sides of the glass. I tried rubbing alcohol. I tried carefully using a razor blade, and that stuff did not want to go anywhere. So after cleaning the cabinet as well as I could, I carefully taped off all of the glass with black painter's tape. Then I took it outside and started with a coat of matte black spray paint. That first coat gave me a nice even base and worked almost like a primer. Then I went back over it with a second coat in a satin black finish for just a little bit prettier of a sheen. So once it was completely black, it already looked so much better. It was also feeling a little bit too dark and moody as well. It needed something inside that would brighten it up and make it feel festive. So I found this adorable Santa scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby, and I actually considered so many different options, but I really liked this one. It was 69 cents per sheet, plus there was an additional 40% off that. So what does that make it? I don't know, like 40 cents a sheet, something like that. And I used about 1 1/4 sheets. So even after buying 2, this was still an incredibly affordable way to add so much personality. But I didn't want to glue the paper permanently into the cabinet. I wanted to do what we did with the first piece and to be able to change it with the seasons. So I cut out individual pieces of foam core board to fit in the back of each shelf. Then I cut the Santa paper to size and attached it with double-sided tape. Now, I would have been happy to use a glue stick or rubber cement or even spray glue, but apparently every glue stick I owned and every spray can I had decided to either not work or dry out at the exact same time. So double-sided tape it was. So on the reverse side of each panel, I added a darker, moodier fall leaf paper. That way I can turn the panels around and change the entire feel of the cabinet without repainting or permanently altering anything. Now apparently I cut these panels just a little too perfectly. They fit so snugly that I decided not to wrestle with them back out on camera. So I may have to show you the fall version in another episode. But for now, this Santa paper is exactly what this cabinet needed. The light background brightens up the interior. The little Santas add color and charm against the satin black. It feels very festive without feeling overly cutesy. To turn it into a cocoa station, I just added this beautiful glass mugs and a little crate for the cocoa packets. Now, the crate actually fits very nicely on that bottom shelf, but the cocoa packets that I had were a little too tall, so I ended up displaying that beside the cabinet instead. With shorter cocoa packets, it would fit perfectly inside. You could also fill it up with marshmallows, candy canes, or stir sticks. And this cabinet has so much potential. It could become a dessert station, a candy cabinet, or a little Christmas collectible cabinet. You certainly don't have to use scrapbook paper either. You could use wrapping paper, wallpaper, fabric, or even a beautiful gift bag. The idea is to create a removable backdrop that can change with your home. And look at this now. What started out as a plain little cabinet feels like a purposeful Christmas piece. So cute. It's practical, it's festive, and because the back panels are reversible, this is now the second project today that can transition from fall to Christmas. That is how you create a collected home without feeling like you have to keep buying and storing more and more decor. So when I found this glass plate, it already had some beautiful details. It had cardinals, it had the Christmas greenery, and it had the gold border. But because the center was completely clear, it felt like it was missing something and it didn't really pop. The design was pretty, but it didn't have a strong focal point, so I decided to add one. I cut out a reversed vinyl stencil of the word joy. And the reason it needed to be reversed is that I was applying it to the back of the glass. That way the design would read correctly from the front and the surface of the plate would stay nice and smooth. Once the vinyl stencil was in place, I taped off and covered the rest of the back so that the only area exposed was the word joy. Then I spray painted the open area that was left in a gold spray paint. After the gold had fully dried, I carefully removed the vinyl stencil. Then I spray painted the entire back of the plate white. That white background made such a huge difference. It made the cardinals brighter, it made the greenery stand out, and it gave the gold word joy just enough contrast to become the center of the design. And now it looks like a completely finished Christmas serving piece. This would be so beautiful, filled with cookies, candies, or other holiday treats. Or you could simply display it as part of your Christmas vignette. You could also add a coat of dishwasher safe Mod Podge to the back for a little extra protection. Now, I would still personally hand wash it because the sealer would help protect the paint finish, but I'm not like completely convinced that it is dishwasher safe with that Mod Podge, just my opinion. But this is such a good example of not overcomplicating a project. The plate was already pretty. It didn't really need to be completely reinvented. It just needed a strong focal point and a background that allowed the original design to shine. And we are getting very close to that final transformation I've been teasing. Coming up, I have one tiny project that proves sometimes the smallest change can shift the entire style of a piece. But first, I want to tell you about my Christmas in July Design to the Nines website sale. Through the end of July, I am making all of my digital art prints 50% off. And I have just released so many beautiful new prints for both fall and Christmas, including the pumpkin and the Christmas bell artwork that I used in our first project today. So even if you've shopped my prints before, there is a whole new collection waiting for you. These are digital downloads, which means you will receive the art file and you can have it printed in the size and format that works best for your home. I'm also clearancing out my beautiful nativity sets. Now, if you remember when I originally released them, an entire crate of them went missing in transit, and unfortunately, they didn't arrive until after Christmas. So rather than continuing to hold on to them, I have decided to offer them at my cost to my amazing community, you guys. They are such a beautiful reminder of the real reason for the season, and I'm hoping this makes it possible to bless a lot of homes with one. They would also make such a meaningful Christmas gift. You can find the digital prints, the nativity sets, and all of the sale details over at my website, designtothενines.com, or click on the QR code. And if you love beautiful seasonal decor, thrifted transformations, and finding creative ways to make your home feel high-end for less, this would be the perfect time for you to subscribe. We have so many beautiful fall and Christmas ideas coming, and I would love to have you here creating a warm and collected home right along with me. Now let's get back to the thrifted transformation, because this next project only needed one change to go from pretty to completely finished. So I found this little Christmas wreath for $1.99. It already had some greenery, the berries, the pine cones, and these adorable bells. But the bells had a rusty finish on that felt a little bit more country than my personal style. I wanted this to feel a little bit more traditional and a little bit more elevated. So I didn't take it apart. I didn't redo the entire thing. I simply used gold leaf rub and buff on the bells. I carefully applied it to only the metal, making sure I didn't get it all over the greenery or the berries. Or at least I tried. Don't look too close. And that was it. That one small change took the wreath from rustic country Christmas to something that felt much more classic and traditional. I placed it on a wooden plate, added a large red sparkly candle to the center, and it became a sweet little Christmas centerpiece. I think this would be beautiful on a coffee table, kitchen island, a console, or even nightstands during the holidays. And I love that it proves that a thrifted find doesn't always need a dramatic makeover. Sometimes it is almost right. You just have to recognize the one small detail that is keeping it from feeling like you. And now we're finally to the moment.
Are you ready?
The project that I've been teasing about through this episode. This one combines two completely unrelated thrifted pieces, and together they become something that looks like a one-of-a-kind Christmas antique. So it started out with two very different pieces. The first was an inexpensive bathroom art with a beat-up frame, and I didn't really love the artwork in it. But the frame had a nice size and the perfect square shape that was just the right size for the second piece, which was this ornate metal wall decor Christmas tree with scroll work. It had a bronzy finish and it was beautiful in its own way. But I thought it could feel a little bit more special if we gave it the right background and frame. So I removed the bathroom art from the frame. Then I spray painted that frame gold. And then I also spray painted the metal Christmas tree piece in the same gold so that everything would feel cohesive. Once both pieces were fully dry, I covered the original bathroom print in a gold scrapbook piece of paper, and it was actually the exact right size. The paper ended up being very close to the color of the frame, which created this beautiful tone-on-tone background. And then I reassembled the frame, positioned the metal Christmas tree on top, and I used E6000 to attach the two pieces together. So far, it's holding up well. But because the metal piece has some weight to it, I would also consider using a strong silicone adhesive, liquid nails, or even a two-part epoxy for a more permanent hold. Just make sure that the adhesive you choose works with both surfaces, and give it plenty of time to cure before standing the piece upright. right. But look what happens when these two completely unrelated pieces come together. The gold on gold finish feels rich and old world. The scroll work gives it so much detail, and the Christmas tree in the center feels like something you might find in a high-end holiday collection. But this isn't something that everyone else is going to have in their home. It is a one-of-a-kind because it was created from two pieces that already had lived completely different lives. And I think that is why thrifted Christmas decor can feel so special. You aren't just buying another decoration. You are finding something that has been overlooked, seeing the beauty that could be there, and giving it a new place in your home. When I look at all of these pieces together, none of them feel like random thrift store finds anymore. A dirty bulletin board became a reversible seasonal art. A plain cabinet became a charming cocoa station that can also change with the seasons. A clear glass plate became a beautiful joy tray. A $1.99 wreath became a warm traditional centerpiece. And two completely unrelated pieces of art became something custom and one of a kind. And that is why I love Christmas in July. It isn't about rushing through the seasons or trying to make Christmas arrive early. It is about giving yourself time. Time to notice the things that other people might pass by, time to collect pieces that speak to you, time to create without the pressure of doing everything at once, and time to build a Christmas home that feels personal, meaningful, and entirely your own. You don't have to walk into a store in December and buy an entirely new Christmas home. You can build it slowly, one beautiful find, one creative idea, one meaningful piece at a time. Because the most beautiful homes aren't always the ones filled with the most expensive things. They are the ones that tell a story. And sometimes luxury isn't about what you spend. It's about having the vision to see what something could become and the confidence to make it your own. And before you go, I just want to thank Factor one more time for sponsoring today's episode. I will have all of the information for you in the description box below. And I would love to know which of these thrifted Christmas transformations was your favorite. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And in the meantime, I just want to remind you, you are powerful. We'll see you next time. Bye.